What's up, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and welcome back to a brand new Blitz News Update. We got a ton of news coming your way, so make sure you're subscribed because we've got a lot of discussions coming in hot for the Marvel's Avengers stuff, which should be really cool. We've got some Marvel Ultimate Alliance updates coming to you very shortly as well. But for now, we have a very exciting piece of news that we need to discuss, and that will be for, of course, the reveal of Lego Skywalker Saga, or Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga. So that is the full title. So this is going to be a much more in-depth video, so strap in, get ready. We're going to discuss a bunch of stuff, all the details that we know. Going to reveal some cool characters here as well from the screenshots. So if you haven't seen those screenshots that have been shown off already, you'll be able to see some really cool shots of characters like Boba Fett. So stay tuned for that, including, of course, his much higher resolution design. So with that in mind, if you don't know, first and foremost, at E3 during the Xbox conference, we got the reveal that yes, indeed, we're going to be getting another Lego Star Wars video game, and it will be coming to us at some point early 2020. Now, I know what you're saying. That's kind of disappointing. Why is there no game later on in this particular half of the year? I agree with you to an extent, but I also understand why they had to push this into early 2020. And the main reason for that is probably due to the fact that because this game is going to explore all 9 episodes of Star Wars, meaning that it's going to tackle episodes 1 through 9, the main saga, they have not confirmed nor denied whether or not there's going to be stuff from Solo or Rogue One or basically kind of like the side movies. They haven't said one way or another. I'm going to guess that there will be appearances from those characters in those worlds, but it'll probably be in the form of DLC. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of the other DLC might be something like Clone Wars or Rebels, or maybe whatever this new animated show that's going to be coming to Disney Plus will be. Whatever these other projects are from the Star Wars universes, I would not be surprised if those come to this game as well, but as DLC. Now, with that in mind, you might be still wondering, well, how does all that have to do with anything about this game not coming out this year? Well, the Episode 9 movie comes out in December 25th, which means that at the very best case scenario, this game could have come out the same week or during that same day, I guess. But the issue with that is that I think from a marketing perspective, and probably because they really did not want people to buy the game and get spoiled on things from the movie, I'm guessing they had to push that launch a little bit further down the line, since obviously there's going to be elements from the movie included in this game in Lego form. So that explains that. Now, from there, let's move on to some other details about this game, because there really is a ton, and I mean a ton, to discuss for this one. So first and foremost, let me just read you guys a little bit of the press release that they have given out, which goes as follows, because it will cover which platforms this game will be available on. Warner Brothers Entertainment and TT Games, in partnership with the Lego Group and Lucasfilm, today announced Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Set to launch in 2020, the game will be available on the Xbox One family of devices, including Xbox One X, as well as Nintendo Switch, PS4, and PC. So no words of the next generation consoles, which is interesting, but since those consoles like the PlayStation 5 supposedly and the Xbox, whatever it's called, Project Scarlet, will be coming out in holiday of 2020, I guess it makes sense that they wouldn't even discuss that yet. However, I would not be surprised if these games gets ported to that particular system as well. Now, this will be the biggest Lego Star Wars game to date. Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga will feature all 9 Skywalker Saga films, including Star Wars: The Last Jedi and Rise of the Skywalker, which is the first time that they're adding those, because of course we did actually have Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens as a video game before. However, we've never seen appearances from The Last Jedi or Rise of the Skywalker in Lego form. So that's very cool. Well, in Lego video game form, because obviously they released actual Lego sets for that. Players can roam the entire galaxy with their favorite cast of characters. So this is where we get a little bit more into some of the characters. We do see these characters also in the trailer, and that would be Luke Skywalker, Rey, BB-8, Darth Vader, Kylo Ren, and you can go on ahead and also utilize some of the greatest vehicles across the galaxy. So that's just kind of a brief rundown. Now, one thing that I was very curious about in the trailer is that the trailer that we saw did not feature any voice acting, which is very interesting, because the one thing that I was confused about with this game is whether or not is this going to be a remaster of that original Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga video game, where they're just going to overhaul it and make it look modern and a lot more fresh and so on and so forth. But if you remember, those games did not have voice acting. Those games were all just the kind of like miming and pantomiming around that we used to get in Lego games. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see whether or not they will actually be adding the voice acting elements that we have come to be used to now with Lego games back to those other games, or will they just be completely overhauling those games and making it just all from scratch, adjusting it, and building a whole new infrastructure using the new technologies that they use for Lego games? So that'll be really, really interesting to see. The other thing that's fascinating is, of course, just the sheer scale of this game, because if you think about how massive and how many hours of gameplay, just tons and tons of hours of gameplay, just a game like Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens gave us, or Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga gave us, or Lego Star Wars Clone Wars gave us. Imagine that this game might very well combine all of that together. It's going to be insane. There's going to be so much value from just a perspective of how much you get to do, that it is going to be absolutely bananas. But let me run through a few other details that I managed to go on ahead and get here from the press and from the actual folks over at Warner Brothers. So of course, we've talked about the platform stuff. Now let's go on ahead and run down the actual overview of the game, and it is described as follows. The galaxy is yours in Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. In this brand new console game, players will experience memorable moments and non-stop action from all 9 Skywalker Saga films, retold with signature Lego humor, including the highly anticipated conclusion to the series, Star Wars The Rise of the Skywalker. The game will immerse players in the expansive saga with the freedom to control multiple hundreds. So obviously that means at least 200 characters, which is pretty exciting. Ships and vehicles to create their own unique journey through the galaxy. I really hope we get the customizer that we saw in Lego DC Supervillains in this, because imagine what kind of crazy customization we would have. The features that they have now announced so far are: explore the saga in any order, which means that you can play through this game in whatever way you want. Players can dive into the Skywalker Saga and access any of the 9 saga films right away in any order they choose, which is something that they had available in the Complete Saga. If you remember, they had like these doors, and you would walk through the doors, and you could play like episode 1 if you want first, or you could play episode 4, or you could play episode 8. So I'm curious if it'll be like a similar type mechanic, but this time obviously including episodes 7, 8, and 9 as well. Laugh out loud Lego humor. All unforgettable moments from the entire saga have been retold in new, fun-filled, hilarious Lego humor ways. So that's cool. Play as iconic heroes and villains. So this is where we get to see some other characters revealed and announced as playable, even though the original press release did not cover that, because it says there are hundreds of playable characters from throughout the galaxy in every era of the saga. Players can play as Luke Skywalker, Rey, Obi-Wan Kenobi, that's a new one, Finn, that's another new one, BB-8, and a legion of other heroes. Or turn to the dark side as Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine, which is very cool to see. Obviously, it would make sense that he would be here, though. Kylo Ren, and more. In addition to that, you get to discover legendary locales, which is going to be interesting to see. What do they adapt as far as an overworld or a hub world? Because the Complete Saga, although it had a couple of different locations that you could explore, it was nowhere near the locations and the exploration that we got even with something like Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens, where there was all these planets that you could fly to and explore those, or even more impressively with something like Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 or Lego Marvel Superheroes 1, where you had this giant New York City or giant area to explore. So it'll be interesting to see if they adapt that as well. But for now, let's hear what they say. Players can visit legendary locales from their favorite Star Wars films, such as the Desert of Geonosis to the swamps of Dagobah, and the snowfields of Starkiller Base. They can now travel through space and revisit any planet at any time, which sounds a lot like what we saw with things like Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham, where we got to actually travel to different planets. So kind of a similar mechanic probably. And then it continues to say, expansive hub areas based on memorable settings from the films offer fun quests and more to explore. So not only do you have the movies to play through, but we'll have hub worlds. And it sounds like, at least from this, the confirmed hub worlds that we will get are probably Starkiller Base, Dagobah, Geonosis. So those are kind of like set. If I had to guess, we probably would get maybe Tatooine, maybe Kashyyyk. Those are some other areas that you could kind of like think of, and let me know down in the comment section below, what other hub worlds do you think are must-haves in this game? Then we continue to the powerful player experiences. Players can play on light or dark sides of the Force, which is interesting because I wonder if that means there's some sort of a mechanic and both the game can be played from two different perspectives, almost like the original Lego Batman game. Remember, where you play through it as Batman and Robin, and then when you complete the game, you can actually play all the levels from the perspective of the villains, which would be so cool to see. And again, imagine the amount of content here. It would be bananas. Master combat and take control of ships and vehicles for empowering adventures throughout the galaxy. So it sounds pretty good. And then, of course, as always, it will be a family-friendly game. This is an imaginative and funny Lego gaming experience appropriate for kids of all ages. It is an accessible entry point into the Star Wars galaxy that is easy for a younger audience to pick up and play, while deep enough for anyone to enjoy. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, a whole bunch of news throughout this. Also, of course, we did get reveals of some other screenshots which look tremendously awesome. So let's just run through those real quick. We have, I think, 7 new screenshots. First and foremost, we gotta kick it off in an epic way, and that is with Boba Fett, who looks absolutely on point. I really do want to fire up my PlayStation and launch Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens and see if it's the exact or maybe it's a little bit of a different character model, but it definitely looks great. It's very HD looking, and I believe even when they launched the trailer for this, they said 4K, which was kind of confusing because I've never thought of like Lego games as like 4K games, but if it is, that'll be definitely quite interesting. We have a really awesome shot of the ship here. Oh gosh, what is it called? It's not the Imperial. Oh, why did I forget the name of this? Is it Star? It's not Star Killer. Wow. Okay. Well, I'll get roasted in the comments for this, but that's fine. It's a really, really cool shot though, and it looks super duper high resolution again, so that's fantastic. Now, this next shot is my personal favorite screenshot because it's honestly gorgeous looking. Like, they did such a good job with the backgrounds here. So we see some Ewoks, we see an AT-ST, and we see also a trooper in the background there next to the speeder bike. So that's looking really, 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 really stylish. Then we have a shot inside what seems like Hoth or maybe Starkiller Base, but I kind of doubt it. I think that's supposed to be Hoth, and it looks really clean too. Again, almost like the backgrounds and everything like that almost looks kind of like what we've seen in Battlefront, so that's very cool. Then we have a shot of R2-D2 looking very, very stylish as well, so that is fantastic. And again, really, really nice high resolution images, which shows you what we get to look forward to, so that's fantastic. And then another shot of R2 with a guard and what are these things called? I forget. The giant cowl things. Yeah. Oh, wait. Sorry. I forgot. There's one more image. I thought that was it. Another shot of some dynamic ships over what looks like almost planet Earth, honestly. So that's kind of interesting to see that. Nevertheless, though, ladies and gents, there you have it. That is the news for Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Let us know down in the comment section below what you think. Of course, do not forget to have an absolutely fantastic day, and stay tuned for plenty more news updates, whether it be for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order, or Marvel's Avengers. I'll be doing a bunch of breakdowns for that. Super stoked for both of those games. So, of course, stay tuned to the channel. Hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss out. And I'll see you all later, alligators. Bye-bye, everyone.